Hi folks, welcome to another episode of Blue and Gold Talk, and I know what I want to talk about today, guys, the trade deadline. I want to talk about this, and I think it's something we have to look at because I'm hearing things out there that that perhaps Adams isn't going to do anything, and I would be okay with it. I wouldn't freak out if it happened that way, really. But I'm kind of like looking at our roster, and I don't want to just talk about the glaring need for more physical players. I don't want to talk about that only. I want to talk about other stuff. You know, there's other things. What about other stuff too? I mean, I think that should be the number one thing that we address. It's not like Lawson Crouse is a hitting machine like Matt Martin. He's not. But this guy has a good game. You know, he's a good player who can bring some edge, you know, and, you know, guys, Erik Karlsson, would you do it for 50% retained? There's a question for you, you know. It's myself, I wouldn't. Would I be disappointed we went and got him this year? Maybe not, because, and I don't think it's going to happen. But let's play once upon a time here. And let's just talk about it. What if we went and got, let's say, like an Erik Karlsson to throw into the mix of this crazy offensive team that we have, with this guy having a career season? That would probably be enough to get us in. You know? That would probably be enough to get us in, guys. Look, I think we'd be nuts going to get him at his age and pay him $5.5. Like, how many years does he have left? 4, I believe. It's a lot. It's a lot for Erik Karlsson. You know, I know he's having an amazing season, but what if he falls off the map next year? Although I don't think many players would, guys, on our team. Really, I don't think, I just don't see a lot of players not getting better coming to the Buffalo Sabres now. Erik Karlsson, yeah, has 4 more years at 11.5, so he'd be 5.75 for 4 more years, and he'd be 33, 34, 35, and 36. It's not so bad. It's not so bad. It's not something I'm thinking of that I want to pursue. No. But I'm just saying, let's say if we went that route. Then there's the Timo Meier thing. And what bugs me about the Timo Meier thing, guys, is just that damn qualifying offer. You know, it's the qualifying offer of $10 million. He could easily, like, just refuse a contract and we have to qualify him and it's a $10 million salary next year. That'd be nuts. So I don't like that idea either. I mean, look, these are just names I'm throwing at you guys that we're probably never going to get. I'm more like inclined to think Luke Schenn, cheap, physical, veteran presence on our blue line would help the kids. That's just one idea that comes to my head, guys. Just one. You know, if what about goalie? Well, the thing is, this is really a video I'm asking you guys because I'm like a kid in a candy store. I can't help myself. If I go out there and I start shopping, forget it. There's going to be no cap, and you guys are going to say, Wayne, what did you do? Like, this is what'll happen. So, you know, if I was, do we need a goalie? You know, do we need a goalie? Let's say we can get Gibson in a trade and it doesn't cost as much. Do we do it? It'd be tempting to say yes, wouldn't it? Gibson's a hell of a goalie, folks. And, you know, these are just thoughts that come to my head when I'm looking at it. I don't pay so much attention, guys, to the right shot defenseman thing. I'm not a big believer that you have to have a right shot defenseman on the right side. It's just, this is a trend that started about 4 years ago on the internet. It's not one of those things I worry about. I've seen the greatest dynasties in history not do that. So, you know what I mean? It's not one of those things. My question is, if we went and got a right shot defenseman, how good is he? You know? That's why I'm throwing some names at you. Because really, guys, I'm pretty sure we're going to make a move. I'm pretty sure. I know we're hearing we're not going to do anything. I don't know. I don't buy into it that much. I just don't. I think there's a good chance the Sabres might be a little more active than the league is expecting us to be. You know, all these teams want to get Luke Schenn, and there's your right shot defenseman. you know? Let me go into his profile. 6'2", 227, very physical. He's by far leading the team in hits this year. I didn't go check, but I know for a fact he's leading the team in hits last time I checked by far. So he's and Vancouver, would it make sense for Vancouver to move him for a draft pick? He's 33. Vancouver's going to restructure that franchise. He's not going to win anything over there. I don't know. Dumba, another name. Dumba. He might be traded at the deadline. This is another name. Would I be all for getting Matt Dumba? Yeah, I would. There's certain players, guys, I'm very open that the Sabres can get. Thing is, I got to just trust Kevyn Adams. I mean, look how the waiver claim of Jost, how that turned out. I mean, it just seems like Adams really knows what he's doing. He has a good idea what's going on around the league. We'll leave it at that. So Adams might have his eyes set on one or two players, I'm guessing, at this trade deadline. And if they become available, we might be seeing a deal. I just can't see the Sabres really standing pat when we're this close to the playoffs. We're close, folks. We're really close. So why not, make not an all-in move. I don't want to say an all-in move, but why not make a mini splash? Just a mini splash. A mini, or it could be a trade that we're like, oh, wow, the Sabres did good with this deal, I'm not going to say it's going to be like Gratton for Briere, not that kind of thing, but something to address our need. I would be calling the Islanders, okay? I'm pretty sure we could get Matt Martin for cheap to address some needs up front. I'm pretty sure we could get him. But do the Islanders want to really part with their best hitting forward? I don't know. Matt Martin now, folks, is 33. 6'3", 220. As we know, he's a hitting machine. This would address a huge need on Buffalo. His salary, his cap hit is 1.5 for this year, and he has one more year left on that contract. And he'd be 34 and still very, very effective. Can we call Minnie and talk about getting Reeves? These are just things that run through my head. And it's not just the toughness I want to address, though. I'm talking about other stuff. Goaltending, defenseman, blue liner. There's other stuff, guys, that we have to talk about that. I think we got to get maybe as much as two forwards and a blue liner. And even look at, Even look at goaltending. I think we should look at every area of this team, what's available. Kind of like we're in the draft, even though we're in the trade deadline. But pretend we're in the draft and you want to attain the best player possible. And maybe that's what Adams is going to do. Maybe. Maybe he'll do nothing. What do you guys think? Do you think we're going to get somebody? I mean, I can't see us sitting pat this year. We're too damn close. And I think if we got a piece in the mix, a spark, it could be somebody as cheap as Matt Martin that comes on there and he's hitting everything. And the kids are feeling really good that we got this power forward out there banging bodies everywhere. And I don't know. We'll see. This is where I'm going to say Adams is a genius, folks. Okay? If he goes out and he acquires just some real toughness and puts it in our lineup, and all we give away is a few low draft picks, my goodness, I'll be so happy. I will be. I mean, I want to see that addressed, of course, but I'm open to anything. I want to see something happen. I just want to see a bit of a mix. I just feel, guys, like this team, the way it is right now, we need an extra edge. There's an edge missing. Whether it be a goalie that makes that save, look, UPL, I got no complaints about, but we still have to look at the whole team. What are we missing? I think we need another defenseman, another blue liner. And it could be, like I said, anything from a Carlson to a Luke Shen. You know what I mean? I'm open to what Adams thinks is going to fit into the puzzle. I guess that's what I'm trying to say too, is I don't know the puzzle Adams has in his head, right? I'm trying to guess. What is he actually thinking of going to get at the deadline? If he's got his eyes set on the deadline, you got to remember, folks, we are the premier buyers out there. The Buffalo Sabres are, because we know Arizona are going to be careful. They're going to be sellers before they're buyers. The Sabres have the most cap, and they can be the most aggressive. And I'm talking a $5 million thing. I'm not talking a $10 million thing. 5. You know, if we got Erik Karlsson for 4 years, 50% retained, and we got to send over a piece or something to them, I don't know. It might be something to think about, because my goodness, we'd have more firepower than we expect after that. You know, these thoughts are just on the top of my head. It's not a great contract. It's a bad contract, but it becomes a very good contract if they retain 50% of it, is what I'm saying. So would they do that? Probably not. That we'd probably have to give up a first. You know, we'd have to give up to do it. So here's another thing, guys, and I'm going to close it on this. Okay, I'm going to close it on this because I don't want to go crazy and talk an hour about this stuff. Would you guys be willing, okay, at the deadline, and I'm just saying willing, to trade our first rounder for this upcoming draft if it's a player we can't say no to? I'll leave it there. All right, guys, done for the night. I am burnt out, tired. I need a shower. I've already shaved, but I need a shower. Okay, I got to get in the shower. See you guys tomorrow. And let me know your thoughts on it. I'll be checking the notes at some point later on, around midnight, before I go to bed again and get ready for another cycle of life, guys. A cycle of life. See you then, folks.